They say some trains carry the dead. The 6:47 to Whitby is one of them. Sarah Chen's hands shook as the train pulled into the station, 17 minutes late, just like it was the night her mother died. 3 years ago, they found her mother's body washed up on shore, eyes missing, mouth full of seaweed, and carved into her chest a spiral symbol that the coroner wouldn't explain, because in Whitby, silence keeps you alive. Sarah Chen stepped onto the wet platform, rain soaking through her dark coat. In her bag, her mother's notebook, filled with scribbled warnings and desperate theories. Around her neck, the silver locket her mother wore the night she died. The only thing they returned to the family, everything else, disappeared, just like the truth. You're here for the story, aren't you? The lighthouse, the drownings. Listen to me carefully, girl. 12 crew members washed up on shore 3 years ago, eyes gouged out, mouth stuffed with seaweed. Your mother was the 13th. She didn't drown by accident. She was held underwater 7 minutes, while the whole town watched from the cliffs. Now get out while you still can. All except one person, an old woman in the corner, the town librarian.
You were there, you watched them kill her.
The old maritime pub sat at the edge of the harbor. Ship wheels and fishing nets hung from the ceiling like trophies from the dead. The air smelled of salt and secrets. This was where her mother came 3 years ago, asking questions, looking for answers, before the sea claimed her.
This town hides more than fog. Mom knew it, that's why they drowned her. 3 years of searching, 3 years of nightmares, and now I'm here, walking into the same trap that killed her.
St. Mary's Church stood at the top of 199 steps, overlooking the town like a judge pronouncing sentence. The graveyard was full of names Sarah recognized from her mother's research. Victims, all of them, every 20 years, 13 new grave, for 200 years, and no one ever stopped it. The diary was old, leather-bound, stained with something dark. The librarian placed it on the table with trembling hands. Inside, entries spanning 2 centuries, different handwriting, different languages, but all ending the same way, a name, a date, and the words taken by the sea. This diary doesn't have one author, it has victims. Every 20 years, someone discovers the truth. They write their findings, they add to the record, then they disappear into the tunnels. Your mother was entry number 47. She wrote this 3 days before she died. Do you want to know what she said?
To my daughter, Sarah, if you're reading this, I'm already dead. The tunnels beneath the town aren't storage, they're a morgue. 13 bodies every 20 years. I found them. Spirals carved into their chests while they were still alive. The lighthouse keeper does this. She's been doing it since 1624. The whole town participates. They celebrate it. I tried to gather evidence. I tried to run, but she found me. She's coming for me tonight. I can hear her singing outside my window.
Sarah found it behind the church, a door that shouldn't exist, covered in cobwebs, rusted lock hanging loose. The wood was old, centuries old, but the hinges had been oiled recently. Someone was still using this entrance, someone who wanted to keep the tunnels accessible. The question was, why? The stone steps descended in a spiral, deeper and deeper into the earth. Each step was worn smooth by centuries of feet walking down, but how many walked back up? The air grew colder, wetter, the smell of the ocean mixed with something else. Decay, death, the scent of the drowned.
Every step echoes, the walls are watching, I can feel them. Mom walked this path, she saw these symbols, she knew what they meant, and she died anyway.
The chamber was a museum of death. Ancient maritime maps covered the walls. Ship names, dates, coordinates, all marked with red X's, ship wheels mounted like trophies, anchors rusted with age, and scattered across the floor bones, dozens of skeletons, every single one marked with the spiral carved into the chest, every skull facing the same direction, toward the altar, toward the sea. The tunnel descended into absolute darkness, but the walls weren't empty. Symbols glowed with an eerie blue light, ancient runes carved deep into stone, maritime symbols, spiral patterns, and something else, something that looked like screaming faces. Sarah's mother had drawn these exact symbols in her notebook, with one word written beneath them, run. The chamber was a museum of death. Ancient maritime maps covered the walls. Ship names, dates, coordinates, all marked with red X's, ship wheels mounted like trophies, anchors rusted with age, and scattered across the floor bones, dozens of skeletons, every single one marked with the spiral carved into the chest, every skull facing the same direction, toward the altar, toward the sea.
The logbook sat open on the altar, still wet with fresh ink. Sarah read by the light of glowing symbols. The sea doesn't demand sacrifice, it demands worship. Every 20 years, 13 souls, drowned alive, spiral carved into their chests while they scream, they become part of her, an army of the drowned. 1824, the Minerva, 13 crew. 1844, the Sea Witch, 13 passengers. 2004, the Persephone, 13 researchers, my mother's name. And the next entry, blank, waiting to be filled.
The entry ended in a smear of dried blood. The next page was blank, except for one thing, Sarah's name, written in fresh ink, dated today. She stepped from the darkness, period clothing from 1624, perfectly preserved, as if she just walked off her ship. But her eyes were wrong, too dark, too deep, like looking into the ocean itself. The lighthouse keeper, Elena Thorne, dead for 400 years and very much alive.
Welcome, Sarah Chen. Your mother died screaming your name. Now it's your turn to scream hers.
You think you can hide this? I know what you've done. Look at me when I'm talking to you. This ends now.
You killed my mother. You've been killing people for CNTURIS.
Your mother asked too many questions, found too much evidence. The town made a choice, her life or our prosperity, simple mathematics. She died screaming your name. And in 3 weeks, when the next cycle begins, you'll die screaming too, unless you leave tonight.
Your mother tasted of defiance. I savored every scream. Do you want to know what she said before she died? She begged, offered me money, promised to keep silent. And when I carved the spiral into her chest while she was still breathing, she screamed one word over and over, your name.
I'm not afraid of you. I have evidence. I have proof. The world will know what you've done. I'm not afraid of you. I have evidence. I have proof. The world will know what you've done.
Evidence: the diary burned an hour ago. The artifacts already removed. Your photographs corrupted. The town will deny everything. The police complicit. You have nothing except 7 minutes left to live. That's how long it takes to drown, to really drown. When someone holds you under, fighting, screaming, until you finally stop.
The floor symbols told a story, ships sinking, figures drowning, spirals connecting them all, and at the center a lighthouse, not a beacon of safety, a lure drawing ships to their deaths for 400 years, and the keeper, still alive, still hungry, still feeding the deep. Water dripped from the ceiling, not rain, seawater. The ocean was above her, or below her, or all around her. The tunnels twisted in impossible directions. The glowing symbols pulsed like a heartbeat, and somewhere in the darkness something moved, watching, waiting. Whitby slept below, lights in windows, ships in the harbor, a town that prospered while others died, a town built on bones and blood and lies. The lighthouse beam swept across the water, still hunting, still luring, still feeding, and somewhere in the dark the keeper smiled. Another victim, another spiral, another scream to add to the chorus of the drowned.
Sarah stood at the cliff edge. The ocean churned below. In her hands, her mother's diary, the evidence, the truth, behind her, the keeper. The town, 400 years of murder, ahead the drop, the rocks, the sea. Her mother's voice whispered in her memory, find the truth no matter the cost. She'd found it. Now came the cost. Sarah stood at the cliff edge. The ocean churned below. In her hands, her mother's diary, the evidence, the truth, behind her, the keeper. The town, 400 years of murder, ahead the drop, the rocks, the sea. Her mother's voice whispered in her memory, find the truth no matter the cost. She'd found it. Now came the cost.
The 647 from London pulled away from Whitby station, 17 minutes late, just like always, taking its secrets back into the fog. But trains return, curiosity returns, and soon another investigator will arrive. Another name will be added, because the sea is patient, the keeper is eternal, and Whitby's debt is never paid. 3 weeks later, a body washed up on shore. Sarah Chen, eyes missing, mouth full of seaweed, spiral carved into her chest. The coroner ruled it an accident, drowning. The town mourned. The cycle continued. But that night, a new name appeared in the logbook, written in fresh ink. And if you listen carefully on foggy nights, you can still hear her screaming in the deep, joining the chorus forever.